Hello, everyone. This is Uncle Phil, and you're listening to Uncle Phil's podcast. Today, we're going to have some special guests. We have Squid and Paul Bronski, and we have a couple other people going to be calling in. But what I want to tell you is a little bit about the show. So we're going to talk about anything, right? It could be sports, it could be entertainment, it could be movies, it could be reality TV. Whatever we feel like talking about, we are going to talk about. And we're going to be doing this while Real Talk is on hiatus until Celebrity Big Brother starts. So without further ado, I'm going to say hi and then introduce Squid. Say hello, Squid.
Hi.
Oh, really nice. All right. And then we got Paul Bronski over here.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Yeah, they're very, very entertaining, right? All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start up with something called the deGrom factor, okay? I'm a huge Jacob deGrom fan. I love him. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
No, he's not.
But these two guys, you have a little bit of an issue with him because they think that he only pitches 6 innings, yada, yada, yada,
He
yada,
does only
yada.
pitch 6 innings.
So I'm going to bring in another one of our special guests in first, and then we're going to get started with that. And this is a guy I used to have the let's get him on first. But
Well, this has to be someone that has your view.
I don't know what his view is.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him yet.
All right.
Hello. Hey, John. On the phone right now is John Siccione. He used to have an internet TV show with me. What was the name of our show? It was Real People or something? Everyday People. Everyday People. Yeah, Everyday People. And he's going to join us on this SAbermetrics and Jacob deGrom issue. All right, John, I have on this with us Paul and Squid. They both do not like Jacob deGrom. They think he's a 6-inning bitch. And they just continually make fun of him, although I say he's the best pitcher in baseball.
He's a bitch.
So what do you think?
He is a 6-inning pitcher.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
Is that a result of him, or is it a result of the way the game is played today? And,
Both.
Exactly.
it's
Both.
fault that they take him out.
So it's all part of the SAbermetrics and the nonsense where, you know, the third time through, they show that the batting averages go up, so you got to take out the pitchers, and they train these kids since they're in Little League to only pitch really half a game, right? They on a pitch count. When I grew up, I just threw all day long every single day, right?
But
Paul,
yeah,
right?
here's the issue. The issue is it's not working. Every pitcher is still hurt. They got more injuries now than they did. Did Tom Seaver ever get Tommy John surgery? Did Steve Carlton ever get Tommy John surgery? Jerry Kuzman? These guys were all pitching 250 innings a year.
Back when we didn't have the training that we do today.
Right. And the problem with a guy like deGrom is if deGrom's going up against an ace like Cole, right? And you're in a 1-0 game, it doesn't come down to either one of them. You have to have the 3 guys at the back end are going to win you the game. Not deGrom, not Cole. So to me, it's a waste. Years ago, Seaver went up against Carlton. It was a 1-0 game. Both of those guys were in the game in the 9th inning. And that's why deGrom's ERA is so low, because 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, he's not pitching. He's
Paul,
not pitching.
That's not really true in a way, because if you remember correctly, because I know you're a big history of baseball fan, those guys, you would get them in the 1st inning, the 2nd inning. After that, they were lights out.
Lights out.
So it's not really true what you're saying.
That's mechanics, though, in the 1st, 2nd inning. And they got stronger as the game went on.
They did.
deGrom
They
can't
did.
pitch past. He can't
But
do
that's
it.
how they're trained today. It has nothing to do with
And
Jacob
what I'm saying,
deGrom.
it doesn't make it right.
You know,
gotta
my-
go
Well,
You're
back to
criticizing Jacob deGrom, and it's really not him. It's the way baseball is being played.
Why I criticize him? 3 times he was asked by the manager, "Can you give me another inning?"
He
know
said
what he
no.
Said, "I'm spent. Take me out."
Right.
Because they're trained that
Max
way.
Scherzer don't say that.
Well,
He's trained the
it's
same
funny
way.
how you mentioned Max
And Max
Scherzer,
Scherzer
because
will
I did a little
will make a man out of him.
a bit of a scenario. I went back and I checked out the stats for Scherzer and deGrom. And John knows I do my research, because when we had our TV show, I had to school him on some basketball news. But
And something about that, though, you do your research, but then you skew it to the way you want it to be.
Exactly.
So-
my issue with deGrom is when he's out there winning a game. How many games have you seen him where it's a 1-0 game?
talking to the microphone.
It's a 1-0
Can I
game.
make a couple of points before
Go-
you go into your statistics?
Go right ahead, John.
There's a number of things that are being missed here. Number one, nobody's throwing complete games today. If you can get a guy who gets to 2 or 3 complete games in a season, it's a lot. Whereas they used to have 20, 25 complete games a year.
And John, after a complete game, they probably are not going to get past the fifth inning the next start.
That's not true.
Well, look what happened.
That's totally not true. How do you pitch 30 complete games in a
All
year?
right, how many
Nobody
complete
does.
games
Yes,
were
they
there
do.
in Major League Baseball last year?
What was that?
How many complete games did they
I
have
bet
in
you
all
30
Major
in
Baseball?
both leagues.
Altogether?
Both leagues.
Altogether?
Altogether, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one guy pitched.
One
But I'm
pitcher
saying
used
it
to
has
have
to
that
change.
in
Go back
a
the other way.
season, as opposed to and that's when there was less teams. So I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that. The second point is the thing that's being done today. When I was a kid, they used to tell kids, stay away from throwing breaking balls. That's what hurts your elbow. What really is it coming down to is the speed that everybody's thrown at. Back in the day, you'd have a freak like Nolan Ryan throwing 100 miles an hour. Now everybody throws 100 miles an hour, and it seems that that's what's causing the Tommy John surgeries. So, and Jacob deGrom has increased his arms, his speed of pitches from a few years ago when he was throwing in the high 90s to 101 now.
Well,
That's
I heard an
how
interview with Jerry
he's pitched
Kuzman.
innings. What they have to do is tell them that instead of encouraging them to throw 100 miles an hour,
In spring training.
get them to learn how to pitch and not have to necessarily throw 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Right. And I saw an interview with Jerry Kuzman.
Yes.
And he was watching a game, a deGrom game, where the Mets actually scored 3 runs in the top of the first. And he said, bottom of the first inning, the guy's throwing 101 with a 3-0 lead. And Kuzman said, in my day, you got a 3-0 lead, you're throwing at 75, 80% to save your arm to get all the way to the ninth inning. And he says, you get 2 guys on base, then you bear down and throw your 100-mile-an-hour fastball. But these guys, no matter what the score is,
They're
no
throwing
matter
gas
what
right
the
out the
game
gate.
is, they just want to strike everybody out. And deGrom, he wants to keep his ERA low. So 6th inning, leadoff guy gets on base. He's not allowed to pitch out of trouble. So what infuriates me is when you compare his ERA to guys in the olden era. Like, can you imagine what Seaver's ERA would have been if he never pitched in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning? Never pitched tired? They're not allowed to get in trouble.
But where you're wrong with that is Seaver pitched better in those innings.
But
they let him.
But
The
deGrom
point
can't.
is that you're going against your own argument by saying this. That's how they are told to behave today.
And
It's
I'm
not-
saying that it has to go back the old way.
But
and it's
you're
wrong.
fighting a losing battle because they're not. You have the agents involved. You have the owners that are paying multi-million-dollar contracts to players, and they can't afford them to get hurt.
DeGrom's the best pitcher. You could say he's the best
Of today.
6-inning bitch.
Of today. He's the best pitcher today.
I think Scherzer's better. I got one game to win in a World Series. I'm going
All
with
right.
Mad
So,
Max.
so let me just ask you a question. You really think that Scherzer's that much better? He pitched that many more innings than DeGrom. Okay. What do you think his average innings per start is,
I know
Max
he's got,
Scherzer?
I know he's got 190 wins, and DeGrom has 7.
I don't care about wins. I told you
Well,
that's
how do
gone.
you
But why don't? How do you
Wins
not
are
care
gone.
about
But
wins
how do you
though?
come in first place, Phil?
You-
What team wins the
it don't
division?
matter if he wins it or the bullpen wins it. That's all that matters is that the team wins the
The
game.
Mets win 100 games.
In today's game,
and
I'm not
Rays
talking about in
win
the past.
99. Who comes in first?
I'm not talking about
why?
that. What I'm saying to you is, in today's game, it doesn't matter who gets the win. The team has to get the win. So
So you paid a guy $40 million.
I
to win
agree.
11 games.
I'm not disagreeing with the way baseball plays. I'm saying SAbermetrics has ruined the game.
Right. He got
Right?
a Cy Young
What
winner
I'm saying
than
is the way it's built today, DeGrom's the best pitcher today. Now answer me: how many innings pitched per start does Scherzer have?
Now?
No, since 2014. We'll go
How about
back.
Last year?
We'll go back to
Why
2014.
not last year when he went 15-4?
Okay, you want to go?
What'd you
How
go,
many?
his lowest total?
No, I went average for the whole from 2014 to today.
Right, but Scherzer went 15-4 last year.
Here he goes with the wins. He's not listening. He doesn't listen.
But how are you not
Right?
concerned about the win?
Forget that. That's not the point I'm making right now. The point I'm
DeGrom
making
goes
is
11 and
how
9.
many innings pitched per start did Scherzer do?
For the year, I bet you Scherzer had about 190, 180.
No, he's talking about how many innings pitched.
Per game?
Per game.
Innings per year.
Per year?
No, per game.
Per game?
Not-
I'd have to say close to 7.
Okay, so going back
6.5.
Yeah, you're
back to 2014, he has pitched 6.5 innings a start.
And I didn't read the book. That's off my
Right?
brain.
Very good.
Yeah.
How many do you think that
Pitch 6.5.
he pitched six? Well, if
Yeah.
you as an average,
As
John.
an average.
Yeah, but he could have had a start where he pitched 3 innings and got knocked
Right,
out.
right,
of the
right,
bottom.
right,
right,
What
right.
was the average?
I get it. I get it.
Right.
So what do you think?
can't go by
DeGrom
that
is?
average.
Right.
There are no halves when you're pitching.
No, John. There's averages. It's 6.5.
Thirds.
No, it's an average of 6.5.
How do you pitch 6.5 innings?
Whatever.
It's
If you take the number of innings divided by the number of starts, that's what I did.
So then it's 6 1/3.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you come on, stop.
No, but my point is that he's only getting, if it's 6 1/3, it means he's pitching 6 innings and getting one more out. That's not significantly more.
Well,
How are you a
can
half
I-
a game out of first? Is
Well,
there
can
really
I
such thing as
finish
a half a game?
Can I finish my point here? What do you think deGrom's is since 2014?
Same.
Yeah, probably 6 1/3, 6 1/2.
6.4.
Right.
Okay. So my point is, there's not much of a difference between the two. You know what the difference is? He might go extra innings, Sergio, but then there's games he gets lit up. deGrom doesn't. That's my point. He's more consistent. He's the best pitcher in baseball. He's won 3 consecutive Cy Youngs, and you were wrong.
Two Cy Youngs he won. Phil.
Almost a third.
Two.
Almost
two he won, and he won a Cy Young when he was 11 and
All right.
9, and they should have gave it to the guy Soroka on the Braves, who go look up Soroka's numbers. They were twice the numbers.
So
of
my
DeGrom.
point to you is, once again, his ERA, his WHIP dwarf Serge's. They dwarfed him. The man that you think is so good that the Mets just gave $43 million a year, his average innings pitched have gone down in the last 2-3 years. In 2020, he was 5.6.
Who's going to the Hall of Fame, Phil?
Sergio probably will, and not to DeGrom
And
because he got a late
DeGrom's
start.
Gonna go to,
he got a late
no,
start in his
because
career.
not
That's
late
why.
start my butt. He wins 10 games a year.
He's
Like Roger McDowell won 14 games in 1986 as a relief pitcher. DeGrom won 15 once in his life. Scherzer's won 20 games. He struck out 300 in a season. The guy's going to have 3,000 strikeouts. This guy,
No comparison.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison. And watch till you see this year when they pitch together. Watch all of a sudden how DeGrom gets better because he's got to prove himself against this guy.
Okay.
He's worried about his
Well,
stats.
I'm going to let you
That's
know.
why he comes out of the
I'm going to
game
let
in
you
the
know
sixth inning.
that we gave $43 million to a 37-year-old pitcher that is on the downside of his career, which is typical what the Mets do. And I am going to tell you that is going to backfire on us if we don't win this year.
And DeGrom
If
gets
we don't win this year.
$35 million a year to pitch
To
6
pitch
No,
a
he
half
would-
a
week,
game. To
right?
pitch a half a
Yeah,
game.
half a game. 6
He
innings a
pitches
week.
the same thing as the
How
Scherzer.
many
What are you
innings-
talking about?
Where was
I just
he-
showed you the stats.
Where was he last year after the All-Star break?
He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Well, his elbow hurt. Jerry Kuzman said his elbow hurt for the whole year. It stopped hurting in January. Man up already.
You know
he
what
had no injuries. He had 17 MRIs. They couldn't find anything wrong with the guy. He had after every start, the guy gets an MRI. My elbow hurts, my shoulder hurts. He hurt
Yes.
himself
Jerry
swinging
Kuzman
the
never
bat,
needed
the
it.
guy.
Yeah, listen, John, he
You guys are
He-
crazy.
he
the guy
was
gets
hurt
3 hits
all
in a
year.
game and they compare him
he
to
was
a
hurt all
tiny.
year. They poo-poo injuries. No, they don't make it sound like it's bad.
What injury did he have, Phil?
Right. Well, let's
Name
see.
it,
When,
name
hopefully,
it.
listen.
Name
If
it.
he don't come back next year and pitch, the Mets have no
But what
shot of
injury
winning.
did he have? They couldn't
No
find
shot of
anything.
winning.
They took this
They're
guy
not
was
winning
glowing.
with him.
Phil,
They're
Squid.
not winning with him.
Squid.
The guy, listen, the guy comes.
Was
The
he
guy
glowing in the dark from
What's
all
that?
the MRIs he had?
He should
He
be.
glows in the dark, and they found nothing wrong with him.
What?
Did the Dodgers make the World Series?
No, they didn't.
Why?
The
Because
Mets
he
won-
couldn't finish the thing.
The Mets
he couldn't
won
finish the
77
start.
games.
He had to back out of the last start of the season.
He
backed
was
out of the
9 and
last
0
start
down the
because he
stretch.
just pitched.
And they
No.
wanted him to pitch on 3 days rest.
He had 3 days rest. They couldn't use him.
This is the guy they think is the savior, John. This is the guy they think is the savior. He opted out of the game just like DeGrom does. He's no better. DeGrom's the best pitcher in baseball. End of story.
Listen.
John, would you like to end anything here?
You're not going to let anybody else
We're gonna
talk?
let
Anybody
Squid
there
talk.
really into cybermetrics?
What?
Are any of the group of us here into cybermetrics?
No, I think it's
not
terrible.
one of us.
Because I was going to ask if they are, if somebody could explain war to me, because nobody has been able to explain it to me, especially
Well,
when it comes.
It's a wins against replacement.
Wins
right?
above replacement.
Above, right.
Yeah.
How do you get to that number?
No
Well,
idea.
Nobody knows.
Here's what they do. They take in account your defense and your offense, and they figure out how many more games the team would win with you in the lineup. So if a guy has like a 6 WAR during the season, they're figuring with him in the game, that team's going to win 6 more games with you in the lineup during the year.
You're talking everyday players.
Everyday,
no,
pitches too. But they also take in stolen base guys. So like a guy like a really good, like a guy like Keith Hernandez, where he's winning Gold Gloves and he's hitting for average, he's getting on base, he's going to have a high WAR. A guy that's like a stone hand in the field, he's going to have a low WAR because he offers nothing defensively. And they also give extra points to catches for defensive positions. Like you automatically start out with a higher WAR because it's a more durable position.
You give me the formula.
No, we don't know the formula.
I don't know the formula.
Nobody knows the formula.
Yeah, I don't know the formula. I just know how they base it. You know, I know how they figure it out, but I don't know the formula.
Okay, but you gave me an everyday player. What factors go into a pitcher?
Same thing. The same thing. Strikeouts, ERA. You know, durability, how long they stay in the game, defense, hitting. You know, if it's a good hitting pitcher, the WAR's higher too. You know,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, John. I just don't think it works. It's to me, it kind of ruins the thought process. Where's the gut feel? And I'm interested to see the old time managers though are winning. If you think about it, like Dusty Baker, who was never a great manager, he did great this year, right?
Because he's not going by that.
Yeah.
But he goes by it, but then he does his own thing too.
But I heard Todd Zeile at the end of a Met game say about Rojas, he says, sometimes you got to manage with your eyes, not your iPad.
Right.
And that's a big difference because he took a pitcher out of the game. I forget which guy it was. The guy had a one-hitter going, and he just retired 6 in a row. But the SAbermetrics says, third time through the lineup, he gets hit. So let me take him out before he gets hit. And the guy was on. And the other team just looked at it. Wow, we got this guy out of the game now. And he lit a fire under the other team, and the Mets lost, as usual.
Okay, so the bottom line here is in the year 2015 in the World Series, Matt Harvey's pitching a great game into the 9th inning. Do you take him out?
I leave him. But the mistake that I think Collins made after the leadoff guy got on,
You got to take him out.
You got to take him out.
I agree with Paul.
You give him the inning. You say you earned it. You got the inning, and you tell him one guy gets on, you're out of the game, and that's it.
And who would you put in? Familia?
Well, he wasn't having a
the-
great. That was a problem. He wasn't having a great series.
Well, no, he was good that year though, but he wasn't having a great World Series.
He lost every game, I
Yeah,
think.
I know. We were winning.
three
We
games,
were
I
winning
think.
every game after the 8th inning. If we
Right.
had Mariano Rivera, we're world champions in 2015.
Yep. I don't know.
Yep. Or Phil Bracco.
That's true too. All right. So, Squid, do you have any
I
last
think
things?
The problem that
Go
exists
ahead.
today is more in the way that the sport is managed
Yeah,
than it is on the individual's performance.
totally agree.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be taking out a guy in a World Series game who's throwing a no-hitter and replacing him with somebody who's going to lose the game for you.
Well, you know what? I saw
what
Cole. I saw Boone come out when Cole was pitching like a one-hit shutout. He had like 12 strikeouts, and Cole was up to 110, 112 in the 9th inning. And he came out, and Cole walked away, and he said, "Get out of here! I'm not coming out of this game."
Yes.
Now the only guys I see do that, Cole and Mad Max.
So,
De-
and what happened the next start,
DeGrom would
by the
have
way?
ran out of the game.
By the way, what happened the next start?
What happened? He pitched. He
No,
pitched.
he got beat up.
He
He
got
got beat up.
COVID. He got COVID.
And that's what happened. He got beat up
'Cause he had
And that's
COVID.
what happens to these guys. They go and do what you say, and the next
He's
start.
saying he got beat up.
He got
did.
COVID.
He
He
got
got
beat up.
COVID.
He had
No.
COVID.
He had
He
COVID.
Yeah.
He got beat up. He was horrible the rest of the year.
Well, the sticky stuff. They took the sticky stuff away.
Well, okay,
from,
but
you
that's
know.
yeah. So all right, great.
Yeah.
My issue with DeGrom is he
Gotta
comes
get
out
closer
of
to the
he
microphone.
comes out of the game when there's like a 2-0 lead.
Exactly.
I know.
It comes out in the 5th and 6th inning, and he
But
leaves
Squid,
it up to the bullpen, and then they blow the
once
game
again,
for him.
Once again, you're talking about the way baseball is done. We don't have to like that.
But a guy
that's
like,
the way it is,
but a
and that's
guy
what I
like,
try to explain to
but a guy
everybody.
like Cole and Scherzer is not going to come out of the game.
They
They're
do
gonna-
come out of the game.
No,
I
what
just
did Cole-
showed you.
What did Cole do?
I
Did he
just
come
showed
out?
you.
He stayed,
stayed in the game.
He told Boone, get out of here.
Yeah,
Right.
that one particular game.
He told him get out.
That one particular game. And there's other games he's come out.
What-
And then if you look at his numbers, they're not as good as DeGrom's either. Then nobody's as good as DeGrom.
Because they baby him.
But
They
his
baby
innings pitched
him.
per game, it's the
You know,
same.
They baby
It's
the
the
guy.
same as everybody else.
Yeah, but he's really he's an ace.
Oh,
he's
John,
got to
it's
pitch
hard.
like an
But
ace.
they're
It's
losing
hard,
games.
John. They don't listen
Yeah.
to these two.
But they're
They don't
losing
listen.
games.
So you got the guy
Because their bullpen blows the games on him.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
So he should stay in the game
He should
longer.
stay in the game longer. And
Yeah.
stop throwing 100 miles an hour.
The only way
Learn
the
how to
only way
pitch.
you can get him to stay in the game longer is if he's not throwing 100 miles an hour
Exactly.
through 6 innings.
Right.
Right.
They took him out of the game. The guy was throwing 101.
Once again, you're criticizing. You shouldn't be criticizing deGrom. You should be criticizing baseball.
But if he had balls, he'd tell the manager, "I'm not coming out of the
they're
game like Cole
they're
did."
brought up that way. That's how they're brought up. It starts from Little League. You can't pitch 2 consecutive days in Little League. It's insane.
Well, the response to that would be, if you have a good manager or a pitching coach, he would say to deGrom, if you want to stay in the game, you're going to have to
100%.
learn to reserve yourself. But no, we want you to throw 100 miles an hour, so therefore we're not changing what you're doing.
Okay.
But you realize deGrom, he makes $35 million a year
Yeah, what's that got to do with it?
to pitch 6 innings a week.
But
and
that's what baseball's
To do
doing.
half
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
what
not
baseball's.
him, it's the game.
I know, John. They're dickheaded. I can't believe it.
And now
Did you say
they-
dickheaded?
now I thought we had to keep this clean, Phil.
You could go back to the early 1900s when guys were throwing 400 innings.
Nice. I like that.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
How about
but you know
Babe
what?
Ruth threw
You're also
250
getting
innings
guys
and
that
played
were-
every day?
We're hitting 400
Yep.
regularly.
Yeah, you know what happened though, John? A lot of the batting averages were because in the end of the games, those pitchers were still in the game. So
Well,
that's
that-
why the batting average was so good.
That could be true.
Because there was
40 complete games a
Because
year.
they're yeah,
But right.
right, and they pitched 20 years.
Yeah.
Go look at a guy like Jim Palmer. Guy won 20 games every year, 25 complete games
You know
a
what's
year.
funny? DeGrom will stay in the game if he's got like a no hit. If he has a no hitter going, then he stays in the game.
Yeah, then he stays
Then
in.
he stays
Yeah,
in. Then-
yeah,
now the guy
yeah,
can pitch
yeah,
9
then he
innings.
can pitch 9 innings.
John,
yeah.
I thank you for calling it in. Is there any last words? Because I want to wrap this segment up and go on to the next one.
Yeah, my last words are, I don't think you'll ever convince anybody who's going to be as stubborn as your guests have been.
That's right.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye. All right, so that's that. Now, my second thing I want to talk about, we'll digress a little bit because I missed this in my notes. Let's talk about a little bit about Staten Island softball. I know this is not Major League Baseball, but we kind of we treat Staten Island softball pretty serious. Am I right?
Correct.
So we're involved, me and both guests here, we're involved in 2 leagues together. One we play on the same team and one we play on a different team. We have the South Shore Sports and we have the Robert Kelly softball. Robert Kelly softball, I want to give a hands clapping to USC. I think they've won their 3rd championship of their history of the league.
Great team.
Great team this year. They were underdogs, and they beat 3 really good teams and to win the championship against Franchise, who had won 2 years in a row.
Another good team.
Right? Another good team. You guys agree?
Yeah, good team.
All right.
Even LMP, another great team.
Another great team.
Great
Well,
team.
the top 4 teams were all great. Anybody could have won.
Right.
Yeah.
Our team
Right.
sucked.
Well, we didn't do that well.
The Don Diego's team got a good mix of older guys and
Younger guys, right?
too. Yeah,
Yeah. He did some good
Yeah.
pickups through the
Yeah.
years.
Same thing with LMP.
Pitched great.
Jimmy Chaffee,
really
great,
good.
great
LMP
pitching.
got older guys too. They they got a good mix too.
Yeah, our team once again.
We're all old.
We just didn't have
We're
a
too old.
consistent player.
We're too old.
When you're playing with a bunch of guys over 50, that's a problem against these young kids.
When your outfield is 175 years old.
But the
it's
I think
tough.
the infield was like 350 years old.
The infield's 350. The outfield's 175. We're getting gapped on ground balls.
But when you put us in the 50 and over league,
Yeah.
there's a different story,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
What did you want to say about the
50
South Shore?
50 and all is where it's at, though.
the competition.
great.
What we have? How many teams was in the league? 6.
6, I think.
6 teams. Any one of them could win a championship.
Yeah.
at
All
any
good
given
teams.
Day.
All
All,
good
it
teams.
was whoever. The championship team really was a team who had the best day of on that day to win.
Yes.
we had again when my team, the Legends, against your team.
You lost, but, you know.
Alexa Rose. We lost 11
You lost.
innings. 11 innings. And what
That
we
ga-
lose? 11-10 we lost?
That went 11 innings, right?
11
Yeah.
innings, and we lost 11-10. And it was back and forth game. We had a 6-0 lead in the 4th inning.
Yeah, we were almost
And
ahead
you
of the
guys
game
came back,
early.
Yep.
and you guys were flat as anything. I mean, you guys were scared over there.
Well, we were flat in the
a little worried.
championship game, too. I mean,
and then a couple of hits here and a couple of hits there, and next thing you know, we lost 11-10. Mm-hmm. You know,
and then we went flat in the championship.
Yeah, you got to speak close to the microphone. These guys are new to this, so I'm trying to teach them. But I mean, it's a great league. The South Shore League is a great league. Chris Walsh does a great job, and You got to thank Brian McDonough this year. He filled in for Chris when Chris was out. So that's all well and good. We lost to the Bombers in the championship game.
And half their team was on vacation, too.
No, it wasn't half. It was some guys. It wasn't half. But Ronnie Lamb pitched a great game.
And half their team
and
was
that
on
team
vacation.
played great.
Phil, come on, Phil. Half the
There
team.
was a bunch of guys, without a doubt.
You wanted
Some of
somebody-
our
my
guys,
team. You wanted
some of
somebody-
our guys play like they were on
Right.
vacation.
Our guys were on vacation. I don't think nobody showed up that game.
But anyway, what do you want to say about this, Squid? Because this is one of your topics.
Well, Squid did get the game-winning hit against us. You got to tell that. You know, he hit
Did I?
a Scud missile to third base.
Oh, well, that was an error, though.
Well, it was a Scud missile, though. I mean,
I mean,
That was the one that he threw away, right?
Yeah.
That was,
yeah, but
right?
that ball was hit hard,
Yeah,
man.
well,
You
that's
know, I
how
mean,
Paul thinks his average is so good because those errors are hits. But anyway, what else did you want to say about this?
What's my average against you, Phil?
Well, let's talk about what was it, 4 for 4 when he hit you?
Yeah.
Four
I
for
got pop up
four
behind
against.
second, then
Four
my
for
second
four
baseman
against
didn't go
them.
back and get it.
They have a meeting on
3
the
for
mound,
3. I'm like, hit him with
and
the
then
next
he drills
pitch.
me in the calf muscle, and he said it was an accident. He
The
hit me
ball,
in
it got away from me, Paul.
It's the hardest ball he threw. He like almost threw it overhand. He said, "I can't get the guy out." I
And
might
then,
as well
and
just
then
hit
you
him.
got to hit anyway, right?
No,
No.
I didn't get up again after that.
Yeah, that was
That
it.
was it. He hit me. He hit me. Yeah, it was 46-mile-an-hour fastball. now he got surgery now,
Now he's
so
gonna
they
come
put
back and throw
bionics
like
in his
deGrom.
arm. He's gonna come back next year throwing 80.
He'll be like deGrom.
If Phil is throwing really hard next year, I'm going to get surgery because I think he got some stuff put in that arm, man. He got bionics.
We'll
put in
see.
there.
We'll
Yeah.
see. It'd be like that
Yeah.
movie, Work of the Year, when he got the arm.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else you guys want to mention about the Staten Island softball?
No, I just hope it's the same.
Let's
as
hope there's
next
a league
year.
next year.
Let's
Yeah,
hope we got a league. You know,
see
we
what
need
happens.
to keep the league going, and we're going to keep playing until we can't walk anymore. And we
I
got
know.
to keep the league going.
The problem I see with Staten Island softball, though, is the young kids aren't
young
really
kids,
coming up
they're
and
not
playing.
as dedicated as I was a young guy. I don't miss a game now at 50. I never miss a game ever. I
Well,
revolve
look what
my whole
happened to the
schedule.
league. I mean, there was how many teams were there in the young league?
In the
4.
young- less than us.
Less than
yeah,
us.
Yeah, less than us. And look how far you drive, Squid, to come to the game.
drive an hour.
It's a lot of guys drive.
And I still don't
way to
miss a
come
game.
play. you know?
Okay. Well, we're going to go to the next segment. We'll move on. And I'm going to call this called Quick Hits. All right. I'm going to bring up his topic. We'll give us our opinion really quick, and we'll move on. All right.
You got it.
All right. So, do you think Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Me, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
100%. Well, because his accomplishments on the field have nothing to do with when he bet. You know, he did the betting as a manager, and it has nothing to do with his accomplishments on the field when he was a player. He didn't cheat as a player, and that's what he's going in as. He's not going in as a manager.
There's guys that did worse in today's game that are still playing. That are still playing.
So, there's there's a written rule on each clubhouse. You are not allowed to bet on baseball. He broke a direct rule of baseball by betting on
against his
baseball.
own team, though.
But he bet on baseball. So now you can look at
As a manager.
As a manager,
Right.
Can you look at it that he left pitchers in because he had to get the win because he put money on there? Did he manage differently? We don't know that, right? You know that he always wanted to win, without
Right.
a doubt, and supposedly he only bet on his team to win. Right. But he broke a rule of baseball. Shoeless Joe Jackson got a check to throw the World Series
As
but
a player.
As a player, but if you looked at what he did in that World Series, he did not throw the World
Okay.
Series and did not cash the check.
Right.
But when the mob gives you a check, you're
Still
like,
did it
okay,
as a-
thank you. You put it in your
still-
pocket and you
yeah.
walk away.
But the difference is what Rose did was as a manager. He's not. He's gonna. They want to put him in the Hall of Fame. He's got over.
But his
40
accomplishments are in the Hall of Fame.
right.
No, but his
player.
his
As a
accomplishments,
player, yeah.
his accomplishments are in the Hall of Fame. They have plaques.
But
in
he
there,
didn't cheat
right?
as a player.
I understand
That's
that.
my
It's not.
point.
I get that, but he
Yeah.
bet on baseball. So
Right.
as a man, he's not allowed in
But
baseball.
they banned him from baseball.
Yeah.
They banned him. He can't go anywhere. He's totally ostracized from baseball. Why ban him from the Hall of Fame?
Well,
For his accomplishments
there's a
as
couple
player.
things here. When he was, I guess when he banned, right? But there's another word. He was suspended, right?
Right.
Indefinitely, and he was told he's allowed to come and ask for permission to come back in, but he continually lied about it. He never came clean until much, much later, and was so arrogant about it that baseball really had no other option but to ban him and keep the ban
I
going.
agree with the ban, but I just don't agree with the ban from the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so you don't. All right, so you two are against me on this one.
Of course.
I don't believe in breaking rules. That's the bottom line. All right. How about the steroid users? They belong in the Hall of Fame.
No.
No.
Okay, now you can say, but don't forget, a lot of these guys started using was it HGG? HG, what is it?
HGHG.
HGHG?
Yeah, HGH.
HGH?
Human growth hormone.
Right.
Yeah.
They started using that before it was banned by baseball. A lot of them. Right?
Well, look at the whole Mark McGuire era.
Mark McGuire, right? Sammy Sosa. Right? All that is true, right? Victoria. Yeah, okay. No, I'm keeping a tab of how long it is. Guys, you're getting the dirt right now. This is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but it's first time out. We'll get better at this. But anyway, I have a problem with steroid users. You got to talk into the microphone.
Cano was banned for the whole season for steroids.
What was his ban for? I forgot.
I don't know what he took. I forgot.
I don't know what he took, but he tried to say that it was like one time I think it was cough syrup.
See,
That's what it was?
I tell you what.
Let me look.
The only guy like Bonds, he was a Hall of Famer before he juiced.
Yes,
See
he
that
was.
guy's rookie card compared to what he looked like
Yeah,
when he retired?
I know. Yeah, he's
I mean, he
twice
put on
the
like
size,
almost
yeah.
200 pounds.
You know, like Sammy Sosa, he was basically.
But that was a clown
He
show
was
back
basically
then.
Dave Kingman until he juiced. Same thing with McGuire. You know, a guy had a bunch of homers.
McGuire was telling him that he
Yeah.
took Andro. What was the supplement that he said he was
Andro.
taking?
It was in his
Andro
line.
diastine
Yeah.
or some
Yeah.
shit like
and
that.
even what Sheffield took the cream stuff. You know, these guys. You know, like they were all banned, those substances, right? All that stuff was the only thing that wasn't banned was the supplements like creatine and all that crap they were taking. You know, that wasn't banned.
Right.
Yeah.
And McGuire, that's what he was using. It was creatine, right?
No, Andro. The Andro.
McGuire was Andro.
Andro? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what he said it was.
Yeah, that's
but then
what he
you
said it
later
was.
on,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it would take more than that.
I believe that it's really dangerous to be taking the steroids because as a pitcher, the balls are coming at you really fast. Okay, so I have a problem with the people using steroids, just like using loaded bats in a local softball league. Right? Yep. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Go out and use your own strengths. Recovery periods. They shorten recovery periods when you get hurt,
And you don't age.
right? So no, the Yankees in the '90s,
Cano
right?
was steroids too.
Steroids.
Yeah. So the Yankees in the '90s, that great Yankee team, you had a bunch of the guys taking steroids. You had Roger Clemens had roid rage against Mike Piazza in the World Series, and nothing happened to him.
When he threw the bat at him.
How does he not get thrown out of the game?
Yeah.
Right? You had Andy Pettitte admittedly said, I wanted to recuperate between starts, so I took
You had a
some
bad
steroids,"
elbow. He had
right?
a bad elbow. Yep.
Okay. Those are unfair advantages. So I do not believe, which, by the way, it stains the Yankee dynasty in a way. Okay. But I do not believe those people belong in the Hall of Fame. And as good as Barry Bonds was, and he was great beforehand, without a doubt, he ruins his reputation by taking steroids.
Exactly.
I'm a big believer in you don't break the rules.
Who's got the record?
And that's that.
What?
Home runs.
Bonds.
Bonds.
He has Bonds has.
That's right, Victoria.
Well, A-Rod's another one, right? And A-Rod's another one. So
Yeah. Hey, you
let's
know who
not-
juiced?
Another
Todd
guy,
Pratt.
great player, A-Rod.
Todd
And-
Pratt
He was great
juiced.
before steroids, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Another one, but he
Yeah.
doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame because of what he did.
Pratt
That's
juiced.
the bottom line.
You know Todd Pratt juiced?
Whatever.
right?
That's why he hit that home run to win the Met game, right?
Well,
All
not,
right.
not everybody who juiced was a superstar. A lot of guys.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
A lot of guys.
All right. So let's go on to the next topic. Who do you think the
You know what?
next?
See, here's my thing with that. You can't take. You can take all the juice you want. It's not going to do anything to your eye.
Right.
You know, you still got to hit it.
But they hit. But you know what happens when you take the juice? Your muscles react a lot
think so?
quicker. The fast twitch goes so much quicker.
guess
yeah.
you're right, yeah.
Yeah. And bat speed
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So if you get your bat speed up,
Yeah.
that's what I've lost now as
See,
I
I
get older. is my
understand.
bat
I
speed.
understand why they're taking it because a lot of these guys look at Clemens, Pettit. Those guys they're at the tail end of their career
Yeah, listen,
trying
we
to
could
compete.
juice all we want. We'll never be major leaguers.
Right.
That's your point. Like you
No,
still
no,
gotta
my
have the talent.
no,
You
my
know? Yeah.
point is these guys are trying to extend their career,
Yeah.
and not have their job taken by a 20-year-old
Right.
kid
Right.
coming out of high school.
Or these guys are borderline major leaguers, like a guy like Pratt. He's in the minor leagues. He's not making it. He's a backup. He takes the juice. Now he's on a pro team. You know. Now instead of spending your whole career in the minors, at least he's making $750,000 a year as a major leaguer as a backup.
So if you're taking steroids and you hit a line drive and you kill the pitcher, should you be arrested?
No.
Okay.
You know, the pitcher should be able to catch it.
I mean,
Well, the balls come back really fast,
They
Paul. I
always
mean,
do.
I gotta be honest with you. I get hit with line drives left and right.
well, you
They
throw
always-
You throw a bat in practice. That's why.
Oh, stop.
Well, that
All
was
right,
new
let's go on to the
operation,
next
though.
subject.
Now he wants to change the subject.
Let's go on to the next subject. Who do you think the Met
Quick
manager
pivot.
should be? As we're all Met fans in this room.
Collins.
Oh, that's a good idea. Bring Collins
Bring
back.
Terry Collins back.
I don't think he would, but I like Terry Collins. But I probably Buck Showalter. I'll go
Okay.
with him.
I think that's where it's leaning.
Or
right?
Bruce Bochy. I'll take Bruce Bochy.
I just don't agree with a rookie manager.
Yeah.
All right. My
Yeah, no
biggest
Beltran.
complaint, by the
No-
way, my biggest complaint about the New York Mets going back a few years now is when they started with Brody Van Wagenen, right?
Right.
They brought him in. They started making moves,
He was an agent.
and everybody he was signing was his prior clients,
Right.
Right. The trade for Cano was
Right.
dumb.
Right.
It was a dumb trade. You don't bring in an aging man
Well, how
with a
old was
big. He was in his late 30s.
You know how dumb the
right?
trade is? We got to pay him $40 million this year and $40 million
I know
next year.
now. You can't even get rid of him now.
Yeah.
You know, you
That's
can't get
how
rid of
dumb
him.
it was.
But my point was, you don't take that contract back and give prospects like Justin Dunn and Kalanick, whatever his name is.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Right?
Kelnick.
Kelnick, right?
it was, right? I think so.
You don't do both. You do
Right.
one or the other, right? So that was the first thing. You bring in Diaz, and I get it. Diaz was lights out the year we got him. The trade, right? It was lights out. And to get somebody like that, you have to give up something. Okay, don't do both. That's my thing. But it started since then. Well, actually, it's way before that too. But in the recent history,
Yeah. Who did he hire as manager? Was it Callaway?
yeah, Mickey Callaway.
Yeah.
Which you 2 years on the job, he's finally learning what to do. We fire him, bring in Luis Rojas, another rookie
Well,
manager.
he was a pervert.
I know, I
know,
get
so
that,
they had to
but
fire
I'm
the
going
guy,
by on the field, right?
Rojas was
Manager.
terrible.
So
Rojas
they-
is
well,
probably
they bring
the
in-
worst.
wait,
I
they
think
bring
he was
in-
their worst manager.
Wait, hold on. They bring in Beltran, right? Who gets fired
Because cheated.
for cheating,
Yeah.
right? Which depends how you
Right.
look at it. Is it
Right.
cheating?
But another
Stealing
inexperienced-
signs,
not a
cheating? I don't
manager.
know, right?
Right.
Maybe the delivery to the batter is cheating, but stealing signs has always been there.
Part of the, not part
Yeah, but
of
you
the
see,
game, but
is part of the
if the
game.
Mets want to
It's
bring
been
in
there for a
former
while.
Mets to manage, right? They got a guy like Joe McEwing, right? Guy's been he's been a coach, he's been a manager, he's got a good record. You know, the guy's
Where does he
guy's-
manage?
He didn't manage. He managed in the minor leagues.
Okay.
But he coached, I think, for the Angels or something. Wasn't he a third base coach or something?
Yeah,
but
he's
he's
a
been on a
coach.
major league level on the bench and stuff. But he's got a resume of managing. You know, they'll never hire Wally Backman because of he's just a mess. You know, because whatever he does in his personal
Where's
life.
Terry
they'll never
Collins
hire
now?
him.
He's retired.
He's on SNY now. He does a
You don't think he would?
sportscaster.
I mean,
I don't think he wants to work again.
no.
I don't know. You know, what
I-
do you
I
think,
thought he was
Phil?
good.
I don't think he
like
wants to
Terry
work anymore.
Collins. I
Me too.
thought he was good.
I like that
I
argument.
like Terry Collins.
Especially when he
When he had the argument with the
argument
umpire?
with the
Yeah,
umpire.
yeah. If you listen
Yeah.
to words, though, they made no sense.
Yeah.
So I think it should be Showalter. I'm a big believer in bringing in a veteran manager, especially when the team is kind of older. We have really 1 year because Sergio is going to be 38 years old. DeGrom's going to opt out after the end of the year because you're paying this guy $43 million.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna want
have a hissy fit. And want
DeGrom
more
will be-
money.
DeGrom
He's going to want more money, without a doubt.
Good.
right?
Let him go pitch somewhere else.
He'll be hurt before the.
I'd rather
before the
have
All-Star
I'd rather have Craig Swan in a tough spot than him. At least I know we'll go 9
And
innings.
you know what, Paul? If you were the manager, you would have losing teams thinking like that.
Why he wins 11 games a year?
No, he doesn't win 11 games.
Yes,
a
he
year.
does. That's
He's
his
won
average.
15
Go
one
look
year.
at his 162
He had
game
15
average.
wins. He had 14 wins. He did win other bigger games, but the bullpen lost the games. We're not going back to that subject. But my issue with the Mets is
6
they
inning
hired these rookie managers that never managed before in a New York market with an older team, and by the time they learn, they fire him because
Let DeGrom manage. Phil, you love him
No.
so much. Let him manage the
he's
team.
still playing.
He'd have all his guys playing half games.
Anyway, I believe
Phil,
that
why don't we have
Showalter
a guy?
is the
Why
guy.
don't you have 9 guys pitch 1 inning each?
You know what? People have thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who did that? Joe Plumbo did that in the playoffs. Joe Plumbo did that in the Staten Island softball playoffs.
Which one?
And they lost to the Bombers because he started guys. They were pitching 1 or 2 innings each. And then the guy he came in last was striking out the joint. He was striking everybody out, and he didn't pitch the whole game.
Go
What are
back
you
to
talking
that.
about? The South Shore?
Yeah.
He had the best pitcher in the league
That
playing
guy was
center
a,
field.
That guy was a good pitcher. That
guy was good.
He was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really good.
And he was legal.
He was legal.
All right, so I think we're in agreement, though. Buck Showalter, right?
Yeah,
You
I
say
think so.
Terry Collins, which he's not going to come back. All right, we'll go on to the next topic. Last one I have here
What's going on
is-
with the Yankees?
Well, the Yankee fans are actually, unfortunately for them, they're learning what it's like to have a budget, and they don't like it.
Do you know what? The Pirates spent more money than the Yankees in the offseason.
Yeah, the Yankee fans don't like it. Yeah. They're really freaking out. Unfortunately, my niece's fiance, John, he's a big Yankee fan, and he was telling me all these things they're going to get, and I'm telling him they're not getting this big name shortstop. It's just not happening. These are the old time Yankees.
Get somebody, Phil.
They're not. They're going to get Simmons. That's who I think they're going to get.
They might. What about the guy from the Rockies, the Colorado Rockies?
Trevor Story?
Yeah.
Not going there.
How do you know?
I'm telling you, he's not going there. The Yankees are not spending that money on the shortstop position.
So now our whole lives, we want to win games as Met fans, right? Mm-hmm. And the Mets finally get an owner that's just like George Steinbrenner.
Yes.
Who, as Met fans, I
know where you're going. I know where you're going, Paul. And I don't like it.
I said, I wish my owner was like George Steinbrenner. I wish we could be like him and get Reggie Jackson and Catfish Hunter and Dave Winfield and win, 9 World Series championships in 15 years, right? So we get an owner like that, and Phil doesn't like it. Phil
I don't
mad.
like it.
Phil is mad because we get the best pitcher in baseball,
Here's the
just
issue.
like the Yankees would do, and all the years of us wanting to be winning team and finally get the good players, and it's happening now. And Phil's unhappy.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother you?
Because I'll explain to you. Because I am not a closeted Yankee fan like you are, Paul.
I'm not a Yankee fan. I hate
You're
the Yankees.
You're a closeted Yankee fan
they play the
because
game
you want the game to be played like the Yankees do it.
No,
and
I
here's
want
my
to win
problem
like
with
the
it, Paul.
Yankees do.
The Yankees is one of the teams, right? Is the Yankees. There's other teams. They've ruined baseball by paying these players.
How do they ruin baseball?
Because they force the salaries up higher. They have leagues, teams that can't compete long term. They compete for a year or two, right? But they can't compete
and you have
long-term.
teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates who keep all their money instead of reinvesting it in a team. So the owners
the Kansas City
millions.
Royals won the 2015 World Series.
Thing.
But what happened after that? They had to dismantle their team. You had the Nationals have to dismantle their team. They not the man. I'm talking about the Florida Marlins. Dismantle
because
their team.
They're cheap and they keep all their money.
No, they can't afford it.
No, they keep their
they
money and they want to just win.
And it's all due to the Yankees in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And you got the the Red Sox recently, the Dodgers. They're ruining baseball. Now my team is doing the same thing.
But they're winning games.
They're winning.
We paid games.
It's all about winning, Phil.
We paid for Lindor $340 million when there were 8 shortstops available if we waited to the end of the year.
That deal I hate.
And it was a dumb decision. And this is what I was going to say before when we got distracted. The Mets have been making bad decisions left and right. You don't pay that guy that kind of money. No, number 2, you give Max Scherzer $43 million a year. He's 40. He's 37 years old.
But $43 million to Cohen is like $10 to me.
It don't matter.
The guy
You've raised the prices. Everybody.
No, we don't. That's a lie.
Why does that bother you? How much
That's
they
a
spend?
lie, Phil.
Because it ruins the game.
Phil, you're
baseball.
lying.
Listen. Baseball now is
the same.
Doesn't deserve the money what he's getting.
Hold on. What is going on right now? There's a lockout. How does Major League Baseball have the right to lock out the players when they gave out, I think it was 5 $40 million a year contracts in the last year and 2? That is stupid.
The lockout,
you're going to sit there and say, we don't have the money to pay these players, but you're paying them the money.
The lockout is because of teams like you mentioned, like the Pirates and the Kansas City Royals, where they say our budget's going to only be $100 million this year. We're not going over, and we're keeping all the
They're
profits.
not keeping the money.
And we're
There's
not
a floor.
reinvesting it in the team.
Do you know
and
do you understand there's a floor?
There has to be a minimum budget of $150 million.
There is. Are
So
you nuts?
Yes.
$150 million.
That's right. Because
gonna
they
have
can
a heart
afford
attack.
it. They can afford it.
They cannot afford
Yes,
it.
they can.
They don't get enough
They can.
fans in the stands. They
No.
don't. The stadiums are
Because
antiquated.
Pittsburgh is. Who wants to go to Pittsburgh?
Well, in the 70s, Pittsburgh had great teams.
You win, they'll
and
come.
people were there
and
all the
you
time,
win,
right?
You could put a game.
They can't do
they'll
it.
Come.
They can't afford to keep
they
the
can.
players.
They can. If they stop.
How would you like to be a Florida Marlin fan when you win the World Series
listen to me.
and then you have to cut everybody that year?
Stop telling me about the prices at the game because
I didn't even mention that.
You
Ask him
said
how-
the
you just
prices are
brought that up.
going up.
Ask
You
him how
said
many
the
games
prices
he
are
went
gonna go
to.
up.
Ask
Right?
him how many games.
I said the
Right.
players' salaries are going up. Prices
and
going
then
up.
and you say
many-
I got
how
to
many
pay
games did you go to
$9
last
for a
year?
beer.
I'm not allowed to go to games right now.
Why?
Right? I can't go to games.
Why?
Because right now I'm not going to games. I'm taking the time out because I don't believe in what they're doing.
Did you go? How about last year?
I'm telling you, I'm not going to any games.
What about the year before?
I probably went to 2.
All right, so he's
Oh,
complaining
two-
about the
two
prices.
games.
You don't even go and support the
I'm
team.
not, I didn't bring up prices to the
You
games.
did. You said
just
the prices are going to go up if
prices
they come.
I'm talking about salaries.
Oh,
Did he
all right,
say
all right,
prices?
All right. Because
I
I'm going
was
to tell
talking
you.
about salaries.
I'm going to tell you. So everybody says, "Oh, they got Scherzer. Now I got to pay $9 for a Heineken." You know what? You were paying $9 for a Heineken when the Mets were in last place because the guys that sell the beer and the hot dogs at Citi Field are the same guys that sell it at Yankee Stadium. So the prices are the same.
Right.
So the Yankees sell it. They win 100 games a year, and you pay $9 for a Heineken. And the Mets, you pay $9 for a Heineken,
Mark my
and
words.
they win 70.
Mark my
so
words.
what's the difference?
Mark
Phil?
my words.
So you want the team to win, you're still paying
Mark
the same
my
price.
words. Mark my words. These the
Aramark
contract-
runs the food.
Mark my words. The contracts for Lindor, Scherzer, Cano
But the
are going to
guy's
hamstring
rich.
the team,
But who cares?
and we're not going to win. If we don't win this year, we're not going to win.
We're going to win.
You're not going to win regardless. You're the Mets.
Oh, come on.
Here's
I stuck
producer
up for the
Victoria
Yankees, and
talking.
She gives me that.
Yankees and my
All right,
Dodgers.
really quick because I want to talk a little bit about the movie that I watched. What do you think the next Met moves are going to be?
The next Met moves, I think they're going to get Bryant. I think they're going to get Chris Bryant because he's a perfect guy.
Where does
to
he
get.
play?
He's going to play right field.
They need a setup.
Put him
guy.
in right
They
field.
need a middle
And then
reliever.
you know what? You put him in right. He can also play a little third base
Here he
here and
goes
there.
again, talking like a Yankee fan. Want to have all stars at every position.
What's wrong with
gotta get a
Bryant?
middle relief, right?
And a middle
Chris-
relief guy. Yeah, he's right.
Well,
you
I
lost
personally-
May. You're not May, the lefty.
Yeah, Loop.
You lost Loop.
I understand. Personally, what I would have done is instead of signing Scherzer, I would have tried to get Gaussman and Robbie Ray.
So Gaussman is a career 10 games under 500 pitcher with a 4
But he
ERA.
played on
and he
bad
had
teams.
one. He had one good year.
Yeah, he played
so
on
you'd rather
bad
have
teams.
him than a guy that's got.
Do you
that's
know-
190
wait.
and 90.
Do you know
He's going to
that
win 200 games this
coming
year.
up with Baltimore? He was highly touted. They ruined him in Baltimore.
Yeah, so
'cause
was
the team
Bill
stunk.
Pulsifer. Bill Pulsifer was highly touted.
Well, Bill Pulsifer got hurt.
Right. Yeah, how many guys highly touted? You know, remember Tim Leary? Remember that guy?
Again, another guy got hurt.
Yeah.
Will you say that people don't get hurt? They do get hurt.
Greg Jeffries. He was
By the
highly
way,
touted.
but if you go
Yeah.
back when you mentioned all those guys,
How about
never
Mike
got hurt.
Vail? Mike Vail.
Gary
he was
Gentry.
high
I
talent.
can name the whole bunch of guys. That
Gary
got hurt.
Gentry, 250 innings a year.
And then he got hurt. And then that was it for him.
How hurt did Nolan Ryan get?
There were exceptions.
How about Tom
without a doubt.
Seaver? How about Jim
Exceptions.
Palmer?
Exceptions.
All right, Steve Carlton.
But they
Vita
were
Blue.
trained from growing up.
Who else?
We're going backwards here, but the last thing I'm going to say is going back to the
Dwight
Little
Gooden.
League, they were trained to pitch 9 innings a game.
You know, Dwight Gooden was on crack and he could still pitch a complete game.
They were all on crack.
Still on
yeah,
crack and he could still pitch.
Dwight Gooden is a waste of talent because he
Right.
really had 3 good years. Three
Yeah.
great years. 3
Yeah,
great years.
yeah.
And then he was an average pitcher.
Because of the drugs, yeah. But, you know, even on drugs, he had more stamina than deGrom.
So I think they should bring another pitcher in. I think they're weak in pitching.
And you don't want Chris Bryant.
No, I think they have enough offense. I really
Who's
do.
playing right field? Who's playing right field? Who's replacing
Well,
Conforto?
you're gonna have
Conforto, guy you love.
Anybody can replace that guy.
Well, the third baseman numbers will replace him. Escobar, his number.
Escobar. You got a third. You're
But
gonna
who's
have
playing?
McNeil.
Who's playing right
McNeil.
field?
You, could
You
pick,
got
Neal.
You could pick a fan out of the stands to replace that guy.
McNeil's playing second base.
No, you got Cano. You forgot about him.
Cano's not playing.
He's got to play. He's got $40 million a year.
Cano's
He's
gonna
got to play.
DH. He's going to DH.
That's if there's a DH.
Yeah.
But then you have Dom Smith.
Oh, you can't
have-
put Dom Smith in right field.
No, I didn't say that. But if
Yeah.
you have a DH, you're gonna have Alonso and Smith.
So where's he going to play when he's not
McNeil's
DH?
gonna play right field.
When he's not DH, and where's he going to play?
Who?
Cano.
He's gonna play second base. That's what he's gonna
No,
play.
you got to get Bryant.
I don't think so. I think they need pitching more than offense. I think there's enough.
Well,
offense,
how about the
but-
guy Carrera? Get him too.
the
The
shortstop?
Yeah. Is he signed?
What are you going to do with
You already gave $340 million to Lindor.
He's got plenty of money, Phil. The guy, he don't care about the tax. He already said he doesn't care about it. You know? I want a championship, Phil. Buy it. I don't care.
Like I
don't
said,
care.
Paul, come out of the closet. You're a Yankee fan.
How about the
All right?
Dodgers?
That's the
How much
bottom line.
money does the Dodgers spend? They're in the playoffs every year.
And they won once.
Every year.
And they won once.
How many consecutive years are the Yankees? How many consecutive years are the Yankees in the playoff? Over 500 team. How many consecutive years? Like 20 years in a row over
No,
500?
they didn't make it 1 year.
No, I mean over 500. A winning
Oh,
the Yankees had 20 consecutive winning seasons. I pay $9 for a beer for that.
I paid
Right?
10.
Right? Yeah, right. And how many championships since when George Steinbrenner owned the team? I think the Yankees won 7 World Series under George Steinbrenner.
Okay.
Dave
Right.
Roberts is good.
Yeah. another. At least they won 3 in a
No,
row.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that type of baseball. Let's end our segments here
Yeah.
on baseball. Okay, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I wanted to talk about the many saints in Newark. We'll do it next time. I'm going to say goodbye. Guys, anything else you want to say?
Just thanks for having me, Phil. I appreciate it, and looking forward to the next time.
Thanks, Phil. I'll see you next time.